Hey everybody! Welcome to the midweek report. I'm Nick. Over here is our sickly editor Justin. Sickly because he's sick.
Sickly, diseased,
Disease.
pestilence.
Hacks onto microphone.
Alright.
Congratulations, you're all now sick by proximity. There goes
Yes.
5 subscribers.
The transfer of mucous membranes go through the microphone of the electrodes of the internet.
Conspiracy confirmed. Bill Gates attempting to infect everyone.
Get infected by proximity.
Anyways, speaking of infections, Overwatch. No, I'm kidding. But I'm only half kidding. We are talking about Overwatch today. Because here's the thing, it was a bit weird this week. I was actually a little conflicted going into this week because I actually had too much we had to talk about this week. We've got the new Warframe update that came out today. I learned only a few days ago that Final Fantasy IV is a thing. Oh, the black hole of a lore that is. I mean, there's so much lore there that it'll cause a singularity. It'll come to you in your dreams. But and of course, I missed the fact that Warframe update starts at 9 today and not 12. I'm so used to Destiny update times that I didn't have enough time to form any solid opinions on that, except one. That new update really, really invokes some space horror feelings. They're really trying to work with that, but I'll save all that explanation for later on. Maybe next week or the week after that when we actually do cover it. So what are we talking about today? Why am I,
Overwatch.
I'm not even on caffeine, and yet I'm going like 100 miles an hour. Okay, calm down.
Savathun's in his head.
Honestly, yes. I've been listening to that for too long. I'm just like drawing conspiracy theories and like moths. Moths are in my mind. I dream of moths. I am the next coming of Savathun. So this week we're talking about Overwatch. Why are we talking about Overwatch? Well, we're not talking about Overwatch specifically. We're talking about Overwatch 2. And calm down, Nick. Calm down.
Easy.
I need to speak slower, otherwise you're all gonna sit there going, "Is he okay?" But
Probably not.
no, I'm not. I'm not. Viewers, send help. No, it's this week we're going to talk about Overwatch 2, though. And the reason is because Overwatch 2 officially beta-wise started yesterday. And, oh boy, it's interesting. Again, Overwatch was, like, I remember back when in high school, when I was in high school, probably when our editor was in high school, that was a thing. That was, like, before the Fortnite craze and the PUBG craze a little bit came after that, there was Overwatch. And it all kind of started it all, really. That's kind of what started the whole multiplayer craze, I think. Maybe, possibly, I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Don't quote me.
Don't quote me, but I think that may have been where it started, I think. And, yikes, they had to thaw out a lot of League players out of hiding for that game, because, man, did that community get toxic, I hear. I have heard about all the nasty stories about people getting kicked for not playing a certain character.
Hanzo's Hansbo.
Yeah, or being like, how dare you play that character, it's so overpowered.
Yeah.
But hey, we got a few good songs out of it. Hey, nobody heard about the Mercy song? Nobody? Okay, just me. I'm old, sorry.
Depressed. You will. Yes.
I'm not gonna play Mercy. Nope, nobody's heard about that one? Okay,
Silence.
moving on. Moving on. We did get a few good songs out of it, though, and a few good memes. But anyways. So Overwatch kind of faded into obscurity with Fortnite and, you know, all the other stuff that came after that PUBG craze and and the Warzone craze and stuff like that. So Blizzard, being Blizzard, decided to put more juice into the series and say, hey, we're going to make Overwatch 2. They revealed that way back in 2019 at BlizzCon, which was a complete mess. I believe that was also the BlizzCon they revealed Diablo 4, and they got booed for having a Diablo phone edition, which they responded to that in the worst possible way. Anyways, but back on to Overwatch 2. Overwatch itself is a pretty interesting series. It's, again, your typical arena shooter. It's kind of what we see a lot these days, or hero shooter, I believe is the official term, where you have a bunch of characters you can select from. You pick a character, you drop in. Am I really insulting your intelligence by explaining to you what a hero shooter is? Yes, I am. Just for in the case if you don't, because you might not. Like I said, there's a whole list of heroes you pick from, or characters. You pick one, you go into a match, and you duke it out.
Yep.
Overwatch has always been weird though because they tried to introduce the concept of a story to it, where it's like there used to be this great team of heroes. Think Avengers, right? And these heroes broke apart after a falling out.
This is an
And some of
Avengers
them went
level
to the
thread.
hey, I gotta use some kind of parallel. And then some of them go dark and join this kind of like evil group. Well, they make this evil group, right? But some of them are still heroes and try to do the right thing and stuff like that. And now they're all fighting each other for reasons I do not remember. Weirdly enough, though, you can still play as heroes and villains on the same team, so it's
No.
That
Gameplay
actually gave us a lot of good conspiracies.
gameplay to lore wise, it's like completely inconsistent, but you know.
Yeah, they're like, here's heroes and here's villains. Okay, am I going to be playing on the hero side and then the villain side? No. You're really playing with heroes and villains together. Well, there goes all the lore.
Yep.
As a lore buff, I am sad. But
What can you do?
yeah,
Depressed you will.
we got a bunch of good conspiracy theories out of that, though. All the theorists enjoyed that.
There you go.
Though, to my knowledge, in Overwatch 2, I heard they're going to be introducing campaign missions, or versions of campaign missions, which are co-op.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Maybe that'll fix some of the lore issues. Excuse me. Phlegm.
Phlegm. I've infected you. Interesting.
I was drinking milk earlier. Don't pat yourself on the back too soon. But
Too soon.
So anyways,
Too soon.
yeah. But anyways, so Overwatch 2, like I said, the beta at least has come out. The actual game itself won't be releasing till next year, 2023, and that's because, from what I hear, I believe they also said that for Diablo 4 as well. They need more time to polish it, Blizzard says. And since Blizzard and Activision are owned by Microsoft, we'll see if that has any input. Maybe the game will be a little bit better because of their input. Though I imagine probably not, because, well, no, the microtransactions might be a little less egregious.
Yes.
I can hope. But, in fairness, I've never played Overwatch. But I do know a lot of people that did, and I've watched Overwatch stuff, and I have consumed the Overwatch content.
I've played Overwatch myself as well. I played it for a good while, actually, and enjoyed it at times.
What's your 2 cents on it?
It's a good game for doing what it wants to be, which is like kind of an arena shooter, team-based game. You go up against people and all that. It does that well, but for the most part, it is a very competitive type of game. So if you're someone who like really wants to always be fighting like other people and like trying to reach the top of the leaderboards, it's a good game for you. But if you're trying to be like if you're trying to be a casual player who just wants to like pop into a game, have some fun, stuff like that, you're not gonna have an easy time. You're really not.
Stay away from this game.
Yeah.
But
I'll say it for what it is. Like I'm pretty sure by this point there are community kind of games set up. So there's that, but other than that, it's kind of just up to you type of thing.
Well, this game did.
Infect.
Never drink milk before a stream, kids. I've figured this out in the past. Never drink milk before the stream. It'll screw with your throat. And put a bunch of phlegm in there, but I keep doing it anyway. And I always regret it. Oh well. Now you've got 2 phlegmy hosts. Yay. But anyways, this one is actually a direct sequel canonically to the last one. Though, like I said, the last one didn't make any canonical sense, so we'll see how that goes.
The last one tried to, they had some kind of story-based stuff they tried to do for some events, but for the most part, it was just random hodgepodge of stuff. So.
It looked pretty interesting, though. Its aesthetic was actually kind of interesting. The cartoony aesthetic, I think, worked for it.
Yeah.
It really did lean into one of Blizzard's strong points, so...
Yeah.
But anyways, like I said, the game itself won't be releasing till next year, but the beta released yesterday. And if you opted in before or already, and you got a key, congratulations! You can now play the beta. with a catch that it's only on PC. So if you're on console, sorry, mate, you're gonna have to either do it on PC or wait with the rest of us. But if you didn't, there's hope, possibly. How you get an actual ticket for yourself then is you actually can watch streamers play Overwatch 2 as of today and a few days from now. I do not remember the exact date, forgive me. It's in the link below. In one of the articles. I believe it is the yes, how to get the Overwatch 2 beta. From The Verge. That's the one you gotta look to if you're looking for that. Information on how to get in.
Yeah.
But like I said, watch some streamers and pray.
Pray.
Yeah.
Pray that it goes the way it is going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I said,
I for one haven't seen much of the beta. I've seen a few clips, but I would say it is completely different when it comes to the gameplay of certain characters compared to the previous game. Like some characters have like completely new play styles and stuff, new category. So I would certainly say it's interesting on that aspect.
You think it's worth getting into it?
I probably won't. As you can probably tell by the game that I'm playing, for those who do not know, this is Foxhole. This is fairly close to the type of game that I like, so yeah. Also, there's a guy sitting here, and I helped him. I'm pretty sure he's the guy I helped make his vehicle. It would be nice if he helped me make mine, but no, it's not.
But we'll see. People are people.
Yes.
The Sea of Thieves logic. People are people. But
there you go. He's helping now. In the like very last percentage of the build of the vehicle's construction, he finally helped.
there you go.
All right. There we go.
Just go on to see if they even shoot somebody. There you go. Take a submerge on somebody, or just shoot somebody in that game. But anyways.
I'm encumbered. Why am I?
You are encumbered.
There we go.
I just got flashbacks to frickin' Fallout 4. You are encumbered.
You're encumbered.
Hey, have you ever played that game and just had the desire to pick up every little single piece of trash, believing it would be valuable later? You got kleptomania, just like stealing everything that wasn't nailed down. Did you have that problem playing the game? I had that problem playing the game. It was terrible.
What is this guy doing? Okay. I guess there's a friendly fire war going on here.
And there you go.
Just one of our own guys just shot at a vehicle. I'm like, are you good?
Give him a moment, guys. He's having a moment. But anyways, so apparently Overwatch 2 also introduces a new hero. I do not remember what this hero is, but it's a new hero. As well as the fact that they're making slight changes to the game. Instead of a 6v6 game, it is a 5v5 game now.
Yeah, that I don't know exactly why they reduced it.
I believe their logic was to increase queue speed and increase gameplay, or increase match time.
But that also goes and makes it like really hard for the game itself, like for players, because now it's like really reliant on every little thing that happens. Like anything that happens is like any little thing a player does can be the end of the game for you, type of thing. Like every little mistake, every action is felt across your whole team, because I don't know. Like the only real comparison that I can really make, and it's an easy one, and the most extreme, is when you're looking at a game like Team Fortress. It's got the 12v12.
I was waiting for him to say that.
Yeah, but no, like no, like you've got the 12v12, and because of that alone, the impact of one player isn't felt as strongly as the impact of one player in a game like Overwatch. And reducing that by one player might not sound like much, but it's keep in mind you're still reducing it, making it even harder now for players to like get in, like to have a real serious impact when it comes down to it. Like, I don't know. It just every little action now can mean life or death to your team, basically. So
Man, you're being like Sage right now. Everything you do will ruin
yeah,
you.
but no, like basically, because when it comes to Overwatch, it's like simply the simple act of flanking around one route that the enemy wasn't prepared for can cost them their healer, can cost them their tank. Like it can seriously cost them, which is the reason why reducing it by one player can both have like a major impact on the game and less of an impact on the game. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of it, but to me it's interesting.
Well, I mean, when it was 6v6, it was a little chaotic because well, no, I'm not sure how big the maps are in Overwatch 2. I think they're like decently big, but they're not like massive, massive. So
Yeah,
there was a pretty good bit of player interactions. So
it was.
plus, I imagine a lot of people are gonna get even more pissy if someone doesn't play the role they're supposed to play, like no healer.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna get
No,
really
no
angry.
mercy.
Where's the healer?
No mercy.
We're out of mercy. Honestly, we got
no
a good song out of
mercy.
that. We're all out of mercy, but
I have run out of mercy.
this is my mercy. I have run out of mercy. But yeah, like it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And there was already something of a well, no, I don't hate to say this, but I will say it. There was a little bit of a touch. I think a lot of the league players kind of went over there.
Yeah, like that goes back to the competitive aspect of the game, being that because players were going and pretty much like because it was super competitive, that's the main reason why you would go and have a lot of like, you know, players freak out because you're not playing the class that you should be, or because you're not playing the specific damage class, or how dare you not be this tank class instead of this tank class.
How dare you play Hanzo? How dare you play...
It's like Hanzo's Hansbo.
Hey, we got a lot of good memes and a few musical numbers out of it, so it wasn't too bad. At least if you weren't a player. If you were a player, I feel pity for you. But
yeah, like it's back and forth with it, really.
So our editor won't be getting into it. I probably won't be getting into it because I'm not big into the whole multiplayer shtick. So don't expect any massive game review from us. From it, I wouldn't expect it from his channel. Sorry, but it's just not our shtick.
But you know, it's.
But we will still talk about the news that comes out of that game, though. Don't expect any of that to get missed. We just won't do any official reviews. As I say that, our editor. Do we want to do that?
Do we want to suffer? Maybe.
I'd sense a boardroom conversation happening after this stream, but
Perhaps.
perhaps future video planning. Yes. But anyways. But yeah, so Overwatch 2 beta is out, like I said yesterday. It's blowing up all over the major news sites, so I'm sure if you want to look up where
through it and everything, so.
Yeah, so if you can't watch a streamer, just log on to YouTube and just click in Overwatch beta. I'm sure you'll see a ton of gameplay about it. It's all over the place. And the game itself, like I said, won't be out until sometime next year. Because, like I said, they're saying it needs more polish. I believe that was also their reasoning for Diablo 4, because I believe that also got delayed till next year.
Yeah.
Interesting that now that Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, it'll be interesting to see if that has any impact on the monetization aspect of Overwatch. because as we all know, Activision is only rivaled by EA in terms of scumminess. And let's be honest, Blizzard is basically just a skin that Activision wears when it wants to appeal to the crowd. So,
Yeah.
we'll see if that has any impact on the monetization. I hope it will, in a good way at least. But I won't cross my fingers because the game's already in a good amount of development. Usually, I think a personal policy of mine is if it's already in beta, that means that they've got a good chunk of it already made and finalized.
Yeah,
They just need to polish it.
Yeah, by that point, the majority of the work is done. It's just the finalization.
Then again, microtransactions can be changed at the flip of a switch, so maybe not. Prices can vary. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping it goes well. Never thought I'd say that for Overwatch, but I do. I hope every game succeeds. I hope every game is good.
Yeah, that's the big.
But by the same token, I know this industry.
Do you make money? Maybe. We'll see how you do then.
We know this industry, so we hope all games succeed, but we know all games won't succeed. It's just the way of things.
It is the way it is.
How long we been streaming for, you know?
20
How long?
minutes.
20 minutes.
I mean, there's not much to go into it right
There's
now.
not much, yeah.
Like, the beta's out. Players have...
Almost got shot.
Yeah, but, like, the beta's out. Players have been getting into it, playtesting it. They've kind of given their feedback to the devs. So
Hopefully.
Hopefully some of it gets listened to. Hopefully some of it doesn't, because feedback is a back and forth. It's some of it's gonna be good, and then some of it's interesting. But
the trick in this industry is if you listen to your players' feedback, not if you get it, but if you listen to it.
Yeah.
Not Destiny. Warframe. That's what I was gonna say. Kind of struggles with that in a little bit.
Yeah.
More on that next week. Shameless self-promotions. But anyways. Yeah, this video is not going to be too long. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, we could go into the other topics, but I want to save those for their own separate videos. We could kind of go into Final Fantasy 4, maybe, but I don't want to stretch the video if I don't have to, so... I know YouTube doesn't like... Well, no, not YouTube. YouTube loves long videos. You guys don't like long videos, though, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, 40 minutes? Forget this shit. So, think we should call it here. I think we should keep going.
Well, we can go a little bit more. I would say, you went and you told me a point that they're planning on doing campaign-like stuff, right? Yeah. So that is
story missions.
Yeah, that's something that the Overwatch community has wanted for some time now. Is kind of, story-based stuff. Actual, like, full-on, like, understanding on what's going on with some of the more fine-tuned story things. I don't know how to...
I mean, if you're looking for a bit of a backlore
I don't even know where to go here.
Pick a direction.
I'm sorry,
But,
it's just the map. The map's telling me there should be a road here, but clearly there is not, so...
Lies. National Geographic, you lie. But
clearly.
Or geography. But yeah, no. I mean, if you're looking for a little bit of a history on Overwatch, from my remembrance of the lore, because like I said, I consumed a lot of content and stuff back in the day. Never played it, but like I said, I have consumed a lot of the content. I don't like using the word consume, so I'm gonna stop using it.
I'm gonna stop consuming.
I hate that term. I really do, because it was an insult, and yet it is being kind of taken by the marketing world and used to refer to customers, and I feel that's like kind of in a way degrading customers into almost referring to them as lemmings. So I feel like referring to any kind of customer in that regard is insulting, from my personal opinion. Just with my history of the term and everything. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, I have watched a lot of the content back in the day. So the overall lore of Overwatch, just for a quick Reader's Digest version, is that long ago there was an Omnicrisis. Basically, humans created robots. Cool, right? not so cool. Turns out these robots eventually became sentient, and the usual things happened. They started asking why, wars happened, they
What is
rebelled
my
against
purpose?
humanity. What is my purpose? Humans didn't like that, and so they caused a war. Humanity almost lost that war, but heroes came together known as Overwatch, a bunch of heroes from the world's best of the best, and beat back the Omnis, which are the term for the robots in this world. They're called Omnis.
Yes.
Thus the term Omnicrisis, which is the term referred to the war. I guess it's a lot better than saying World War Robo or something, I don't know. So anyways, all is well, the war ends, and Overwatch eventually ends up having a falling out. I do not remember why the falling out happens, but they have a falling out, and they disband. They all go their separate ways. Some of them end up forming this kind of coalition of evil peoples, and another actually ends up kind of reforming later on to become kind of the second coming of Overwatch. Now, in the backdrop of all of this is the Omnis, who are still around. The war ended, but they're still around. And now they're trying to go the more peaceful route of kind of human-robot coexistence here. In fact, one of the trailers actually shows one of the villains of this coalition trying to assassinate one of the robot politicians who, had this meeting with one of the human politicians to kind of broker peace and attempt to assassinate him. So maybe they're trying to cause another war for unknown reasons. I don't know.
Who knows?
So that's happening. And that's kind of the overall backdrop of everything. You got the heroes that are trying to prevent the evil coalition from doing their shtick. And I believe there's also this little bit of government conspiracy that's going on in the background of the reason Overwatch had this falling out and disbanded may have been a little bit because of the government conspiracy. I do not remember. I believe that's something that's going on. I do remember all the specifics, forgive me, but I think that's something. In fact, I think that's even one of the backgrounds of one of the characters that's kind of playing her own side, this hacker, who kind of figures out that these governments might have actually been responsible for getting rid of Overwatch for their own reasons. Possibly to start another war. Because, who doesn't like a little bit of government conspiracy?
Why not?
So it's kind of... yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what comes for Overwatch 2, and if there's kind of like a type of campaign or something that'll go on.
Mm-hmm. I think in Overwatch 2...
Yeah, like I said, that is something that the community has been wanting for some time now, so...
We'll see if we get anything interesting out of it. I think in Overwatch 2, the war is going to officially start again, or some version of it.
Yeah.
I think, if my remembrance of the trailer is correct. So maybe that'll be the backdrop of everything, kind of figuring out what's going on. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Get something interesting coming out of that. Like I said, Overwatch 1 established an interesting story, but they never went anywhere with it. In fact, the gameplay itself, and like Justin said, the disconnect between the actual story they tried to establish and the actual gameplay is like vastly different.
Yeah.
Because there's all this rich history that you can work with, or kind of an interesting story you can work with. Robots, government conspiracies, wars, and stuff like that. But it's just heroes and villains shooting at each other, but are weirdly on the same side. In fact, I think. I can't remember which YouTube channel did like an interesting like little animation that kind of like theorized about it. It's called the Secret History series and the Secret History of Overwatch. Kind of did a little bit of a video, playing with the idea of why, despite being apparently mortal enemies, they're fighting on the same team against other people that they're supposed to be friends with.
Yeah.
It's weird. And I think MatPat had a ham with that back in the day. I know. Austin at the Science had a ham explaining why some of the powers of the heroes in Overwatch are just broken. Like how I can't remember what his name was. The guy who has the sound gun. His gun every time he uses it would just like cause a sonic boom and like cracks open the planet.
Yeah.
But
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Not like he has a super weapon that could end reality. That's fine. That's fine.
It's okay.
Or how Doomfist every time he like punched a wall would cause like a sonic boom.
Don't
Like,
worry about it.
I still remember that episode. But yeah, we had, so like I said, it gave us some fun theories and stuff to play with, and some fun musical numbers out of it. So it'll be interesting to see what Overwatch 2 gives us. And yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say it's in an interesting spot right now. Certainly going to be seeing what comes of it all. Like I said, there's been a lot of people waiting for like kind of a lot of story and campaign like stuff. So hopefully that kind of thing plays out for them, because it
Co-op
was
story mission.
it was kind of all over the place when it came to the first game, and they tried to do some story campaign stuff, but it didn't really work out all too nicely. So
They set up a story, but they never went to. They
never really went much into it, and it was only
Yeah.
like event based stuff, and every event based thing was like in the past. So it's like,
It's kind of weird.
It was very all over the place.
So maybe they'll try to fix that now. Try to actually have some coherent story.
Maybe.
Because there is some interesting material to play with there. Like I said, you got the potential government conspiracy angle. You've got the robot wars, and the heroes, and da 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 da. So
yeah, there's a lot to get into when it comes to it, but we'll see what happens.
Yep, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Tracer doesn't cause a black hole. But anyways,
don't worry about it.
That's another theory. Or manipulation of time would probably shatter
our science is sound. Don't worry about it.
Our science is sound. Yeah, it's not like freaking Bungie science or like freaking BioWare science, which is kind of explainable with like just enough kind of like suspension of disbelief to buy into it. But in the case of Blizzard science, when you look into it, it's like, this would really not work if you tried to do this. This is some obvious problems.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Alright, well, hopefully you all enjoyed. We got a little bit of tidbits on what's going on with Overwatch and where Overwatch 2 kind of stands at the moment.
Well, you got the official Overwatch website for Overwatch 2 PvP beta down below in the description. You've got The Verge's article on how to get into said beta.
Yep.
That's now, like, if you didn't get an official ticket as of currently.
Yeah, so if you're watching this right now and you're interested, you still have some time. But if you're watching this later, then the beta's probably over. And if you're watching this really later, then it probably means the game's out.
Yeah. And you're just watching this to reflect on the nostalgia days of back when the beta was around and the game possibly was good, or when we didn't know the game was going to be great, or I don't know. Maybe it'll turn out to be great, maybe it'll turn out to be trash. I don't know.
Hey, people do that all the time, so don't worry about it.
I do. Alright. So, and of course you've got Overwatch 2 on Tech Radar's thing. Everything we know so far about the game, from their changes to the things are adding, the new heroes, da-da-da-da-da. So, go read those if you're interested.
You need a transport? Don't mind me.
Do you need it? I don't know, do you?
Do you?
Tell me, do you?
Do you? Alright, well, hopefully you all enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep, see you in the next one. And as always, I'm Nick, this is Justin, this is the Midweek Report, and as always, good night.
Have a good one.